Hi, it's Ryan Casey, sales trainer, Orange Theory Fitness Studio owner, and I have a question for you. Have you ever found yourself repeating the same instructions or coaching to your staff members on the same topic over and over? One of the questions I ask our managers when there seems to be a staff member who's just not getting it, they're not performing at the level we want and it's consistent, is are you managing their behavior or are you managing the cause of their behavior? Whether that's showing up late, not closing sales, not completing their admin work. And if we have to consistently repeat ourselves because our staff isn't completing a simple task and they obviously know what to do, then there's usually a deeper cause of that behavior. And if we just correct that behavior, it won't be too long before that behavior happens again. And this becomes really frustrating. You hear things like they just don't get it. They're lazy or they don't listen to me. And one more strike and that person's done. I've had it with them. And now don't get me wrong. Sometimes if you have the wrong person on the bus, you need to let them go. But more often than not, there's usually a deeper cause of their actions than just the surface behavior. And when we fix that cause, then we can get that consistent behavior that we want. So how do we fix the cause? Well, I have 4 quick tips for you today. The first one goes back to Dale Carnegie, responding instead of reacting. Instead of just reacting when they show up later, they didn't close the sale, they didn't say that line that they were supposed to, that we've role played over and over and over, instead of reacting really quickly, take a minute to think, say, respond. How am I going to handle this in the best way? How can I handle this where it's going to be effective versus just kind of venting and getting mad at that behavior that I've told them over and over? So responding versus reacting. The second tip goes back to Sakichi Toyoda, founder of Toyota, and he's famous for coming up with the 5 whys, finding what the root analysis is of what's the cause of the behavior or the problem that you're trying to solve. So why do they forget to fill out the admin? Maybe they have too much to remember. Maybe they don't have enough resources to keep them on track with all the different things and they need some other resources to help with. Why do they show up late? Maybe they just don't see the value of being on time. Maybe they see everybody else being late and that's a culture that's become created in the business. Maybe they're scared to open by themselves and they're waiting till the next person. Who knows what it may be, but you're better off asking why, and keep digging. Now, why is that? And going another step below the surface. Why aren't they closing the sales? This is something I see and hear a lot with the businesses that I work with. It's not that they don't know what to do. It's a lot of times they could be intimidated of that sales process. They know the lines, they know what they're supposed to do, but maybe they're scared. There's some intimidation. Maybe it's handling objections and they need more of the right training. And when I say right training, so often we teach our people what to do, but we don't spend as much time on how to do it well and why we do it the way we do, really building value, which I'll get to in a second. The third tip is recognizing patterns. If there's more than one person consistently not performing well in the same area, there's probably a lot more to it than just the behavior. Maybe it's the management style, maybe it's the processes we have in place. There's a flaw and there's something that we can switch that'll make it better for everybody. So there's probably a common cause if everybody's consistently not getting that behavior that you want. And the last one is setting proper expectations and building value in all the areas you expect them to perform in. Especially when you're onboarding, you get a great opportunity when you bring people on to really set the right expectations and build value. But it shouldn't just be done once. It needs to be a continuous process, continually setting the expectations of where people should be, continuously building value and why we do things the way we do, whether that's a percentage that they should be closing their sales. Why is it important we close that many sales? And why is that specific number the number that they should be hitting? What's the reasoning behind that? Why admin needs to be done the right way and what kind of consequences could happen if we didn't get it done, what could happen later down the road with a customer service issue. Basically anything you want done correctly, whether it's taking out the garbage or cleaning the facility, anything you want done correctly, you should make sure you're building value in how to do it and why it's important that we do it that way. So next time you find yourself frustrated with your staff, just ask yourself, am I focusing my energy on improving their behavior? Or am I focusing my energy on fixing the cause of their behavior? When done right, if you're fixing the cause, it does take more time initially, but it saves a lot of time and a lot of headaches later down the road. So that's it for today. See you soon.